Hi everybody, come on in. This is E with the Stuttgart Daily Leader. Come on in and join us. I am here with Miss Ann Bowie, who is the mother of Zach Jeans and Ricola Jeans. They were both victims of gun violence, and I'm here with the mother today for her to share her story. So come on in and join us. And if you guys can hear me, give me a thumbs up, because I don't want you to miss this story, and I want to make sure that her voice is heard. So if you can hear, if I can get some thumbs up and some hearts going across the screen, and we are going to get started shortly. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, again, my name is E with the Stuttgart Daily Leader, and I'm here with Miss Ann Bowie. She is the mother of Zach Jeans and Ricola Jeans. Ricola, both brothers were victims of gun violence here in Stuttgart, and unfortunately, she did lose Zach to gun violence. So, Miss Ann, I know this has been a tough couple of weeks for you. So just kind of, from a mother's heart, I know your heart is broken, and just talk about, what's on your heart.
Yes, my heart is broken because I was at the hospital nursing one son back to health, and to receive a phone call to say that my other son had been shot shook me. All I could think about is, my prayers leading up to this, how God had shown me one of my children dead, and how I thought it was Ricola, but he lived, and the vision that I saw was a lifeless vision. So God was able to prepare me, but as a mother, I am still hurt because I love my child. I love my children. Are they perfect children? No. I don't know a perfect child. Have they made mistakes? Yes. But at the same time, being a mother and to have to bury her baby brings on a whole nother level of hurt and pain and tears. The feeling of knowing that not only did it disrupt myself and my immediate family, but there's another family that's going through, another section of my family that's having to deal with something else. And I didn't want to, I had to pray. Like I said, I had been praying for 3 months prior to this, that God give me the strength, the knowledge, the understanding to be able to deal with whatever lies ahead. And now I can see why he had to prepare me, because had not I been prepared, I would have had a lot of malice in my heart. But I thank God. I thank God that he prepared me so that I wouldn't have to feel the anger that I know that I could feel. I know me. I know the other part of me. But I'm God's child, so of course, he knew me, so he had to get me right. He had to get me right. And that's why I had to see this 3 months ago. Because that way I can be able to, take this situation and use it for the good. Because like I was saying at my baby funeral, I wanted to be mad. I wanted to be angry. I wanted to have the spirit of retaliation, but God wouldn't let me. And I don't want to stop just there. I don't want to see no more children hurt. It took God, it's taking God, because, now I have to deal with the fact of some people saying my child is a bully, my child is this, and my child is that. But they didn't know the story. And he's not here to defend himself. And I'm not going to even try to defend that because I know him. And I trust God to fix the situation. I trust God to handle the situation. So whatever comes out of this here, honey, I've given the whole situation to God. So therefore, I can do what I feel is necessary and best to step forward. By this being a family thing, it's not like a family and a stranger. That we family. I don't want for the ones that's coming up, the younger ones that's coming up. I don't want this to break us. We've been broken way too long. And had we fixed it in the beginning, none of us would even be here. None of us would be here. But at the same time, I have to think about my other boys. So I have to stay strong. I have to always look strong. I have a husband dealing with situations before this even came up. I got Ricola in there. You know what I'm saying? He's going into surgery tomorrow again. You know, I'm trying to heal from my baby being buried Saturday. I don't have time to be, you know what I'm saying, worried about if my other children are going to do something. So I told them, you know, let it go. I asked them, if you never do nothing else for me in my life, and I'm going to ask y'all the same thing. If you never done anything else, sit back and watch God work. Because everything in my life, every situation, you know what I'm saying, God has been in the midst of. I put this situation in God's hand. I pray for the children that are out there, that are still out there, that are hurting. You know what I'm saying? It's not just me. It affected a lot of people. So I put my trust in God. I trust God to fix and mend, Lord God. I trust him to open closed eyes. I trust him to be more into the parents, because as parents we can do better. People have come to me about my children and they will tell you, I will get mine. I will go get them. If my son's name came up in the police department, I would take them down there. That they can't say that I wouldn't do. Every time Zach's name came up in something, I took him down and his name was up in this. You know what I'm saying? Here he is.
So let's talk about the healing process.
Mm-hmm.
You stated with God.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about what that healing process is going to be, not just for you, but for your family, for Ricola, for the community. Because like you said, this shook up the community, and instead of us dividing, you want to unify. So let's talk about the healing process.
The healing process is, for me, lies in God. It's nothing that I can do without God. It's nothing that I can do without God. I can't heal without him. I can't move forward without him. I can't ask for peace without him. Nothing that I do from this day forward, as far as this situation, as far as the community, none of this. I can't do nothing without God being in front of me, in the back of me, and on the sides of me. Because it's easy to maneuver and, you know what I'm saying, take your eyes off focus. But I have grandchildren here. I got to heal. I have some other children here. I have cousins here. I have nephews. And at this point, like I said at the funeral, it's time to heal. It's time to mend those broken bridges. Because we should have been, even as adults, you know, we should have been able to talk. So from this point on, you know, I'm open to talk. I have to be strong because there's people looking at me, waiting to see what I'm going to do, waiting to see how I'm going to move. Well, I'm going to trust God and I'm going to stand still and I'm going to let God work. People out there, young men out there, you know, instead of, you know, thinking that, you know what I'm saying, guns is the thing, or that, I mean, it's just not. Because you have not just the person who is deceased, you know, his family having to worry about, but you have a whole nother family that have to deal with the process of, you know what I'm saying, jail, the process of, you know, having to put money out for lawyers and stuff like that. As y'all parents, I mean, it's heartbreaking on us. I mean, I can't even, after even like burying my own child, yet and still, I can't even imagine having to wait on one to see what the future holds for them. You know, so that's why I asked that, anything dealing with my child's definitely, I ask everybody to drop it. Not just with that, anything that's going on. I mean, like, I challenge y'all to just let everything go. Start from fresh. It's a new day. You get a chance. Everybody don't get a chance to start over. Everybody don't get a chance to, look at this situation because God ordained this. God ordained this here. He ordained it for the good, and I'm going to use it for the good. So, I mean, like if you got a problem with somebody, stop. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. Sometimes if we just stop and we just think, like it can reroute us. It only takes a few minutes. It only takes a few minutes to just stop.
And most importantly, we want to get out there that violence is not the answer.
It's not. It's not the answer. Because if it weren't for this, like I would have a child still here. If it weren't for violence, my cousins would have their children out. My classmate would have her children out. But because of violence, it's not worth it. Back in the day, we fought. Because we got to live. We got to apologize. I fought people when I was younger. But I got to apologize. And after we apologized, we got a whooping. But we was able to say, hey, the next day. You live. You able to live. Everybody just stop and just, breathe first. Just take a breath. Try to listen to God. Listen for God or something. Because even though I love my family. I love my family. We don't all get together like we used to, but I love my family. So for me, it's a whole whammy. I have my mom and my aunt who spoke to each other and seen each other every day. It put a shift. It put a shift in them. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. So I have to find forgiveness in my heart to move forward. If anybody out there mad, I ask you to find forgiveness in your heart. Because we only get one life. We get one life, and my baby life is gone. He don't get to go back and push replay. My young cousins that's in jail, they don't get to go back and push replay. My heart goes out for them. My heart goes out for my children. My heart goes out for the community because this ain't how we was raised. So I pray that, y'all keep me lifted up in prayer because I don't want to see no mother, not one other mother go through what I'm going through. I don't want them to have to constantly pray for strength. I'm constantly praying for strength. I'm constantly trusting God that, that my walks from this point on are positive. I don't want to be a hindrance to nobody. I don't want my son's situation to be a hindrance to nobody. I want Stuttgart to heal. He shook it up, now make it worth it. Don't let the town be shook up and then we go right back to what we was doing before this all happened. Make it work for the good. If you have to use his situation, then use it. Make it work for the good, though.
What do you think putting this situation, turning it around for the good, what do you think would help this community turn that around? Mentoring programs, more
we need mentoring programs. We need something for the young people to do. We need one thing that I wished for my child. My child was a hurt child because he lost his grandparents. And sometimes we have to realize, I know they say tough love is everything, but not every child needs tough love either. Some children need just a hug. Some children, may need tough love. You have to have a connection with the children that are coming up. It takes a special type of person to be able to bond with a child. A child has to trust you. So we need to start forming relationships with the people. I remember, just being around people that were, maybe, they wasn't clean enough or, they was a smoker or whatever their situation be, but I always treated them the same. I never, sometimes you just need to show raw love. Because people need it. These children need it. The children need it. So, us building a one-on-one conversation, us building a one-on-one friendship, us being open to accept it might not be what you want to hear. But I mean, just because my children tell me stuff sometimes, and I'm like, I don't want to hear that. But at the same time, I leave that line open for them so they can trust me enough to come to me and speak on it. You have to gain a child's trust, and it might not be what you want to hear, but you have to trust them and allow them to trust you enough so whatever is being said or whatever the situation is, that you can direct them in the right path, the right direction, instead of, scaring them to death like till they don't want to talk. Because even as my own children, they don't want to go talk to no police. They don't want to go talk to no police. So, I mean, it even starts in the police department. Like y'all have to humble yourselves. You have to humble yourselves and you have to meet a person where they are. You have to meet people where they are. It don't matter what walk of life it is. Whether it's in the church, you got to meet them where you are. It's the police department. You got to meet them where they are. You have to form a bond. In the home, you have to meet them where they are. You have to remember where you came from. You have to remember the mistakes that you made. Let your past and let your story speak up. Some people don't like to talk about their past. Talk about it with these kids. Don't let them be out there thinking that, you know what I'm saying, you ain't done nothing at all, when you know that you got 100 stories that could save the next child. Use your story, use your testimony. That's what God give them to you for. He give it to you so you can help heal the next person. He gives them to you so you can help mold somebody. Use it. Because you don't know whose life you can save. Even if you only save one, you save that one. It's people probably don't be wanting to hear me talk sometimes when I'm doing my testimonies in church. But God gave it to me. And if I only touch just one, I'm content with that because that's the one that God wanted me to touch. So we have to use that same philosophy in the streets. You have to get out there in the streets. You have to meet them where they are. You have to make them feel comfortable. You have to do that. I don't mind standing on the corner. I don't mind being in the midst of, whatever it is that's going on. Because I know me, I'm going to say what I got to say to either encourage or I'm going to tell you when you're right. I'm going to tell you when you're wrong. That's why my kids don't like to ask me nothing, because I'm going to tell them when they're wrong. You're wrong. You need to apologize. And we have to take that to the streets.
So how is Ricola doing right now?
Ricola is holding up. He's a fighter. Not once since this has happened has his spirit been down. He helps motivate me. He went to an appointment today where he had his stitches taken out. He probably had about 40-some stitches in his stomach because, he lost half the colon and some of his small intestines. But, he stayed focused. He never lost sight. He never felt sorry for himself. He never felt no pity. We go into surgery tomorrow because he still has a long process. So we will be going into surgery tomorrow to start forming his face back. I ask for prayers for those who know how to get a prayer through. I ask that, y'all pray that he won't lose his drive. Because the thing that I worry about most is because he's come so far with the healing up to this point, him having to start back over with a whole new healing process. So I worry, that he may, start, just kind of feeling bad about it or feeling down on himself. So I continuously keep him uplifted. I continuously try to make him smile. I continuously tell him that, it's just a process. God using you for a reason. You going through this for a reason. You got a testimony. You a walking testimony. God trying to tell you something. And so, he's doing good. Stitches out. He got a trait. He has a feeding tube. They said they didn't want him drinking water, but he drinks water. So, he's doing good. I'm proud of my baby. I'm proud of him that he didn't let this, hinder him or feel like he couldn't do nothing. Like he's stepping forward.
What is your prayer for the community, for your family, for, what you talk about prayers getting sent up? What is the mother's prayer?
For me, a mother's prayer is that God be in the midst of every community, not just my community. I pray that God be in the midst of Stuttgart. I pray that God just be in the midst, that God send prayer warriors. I pray that it's people that's out there covering our children, because it takes a village. So if it takes a village to raise a child, it's going to take a village of prayers. So, constantly just staying prayed up for the community, getting out there, you know what I'm saying, talking to the people, showing love to the young people. Because sometimes not everybody get love at home. Not everybody has somebody that they can go to and talk to. Get you a pal. Grab you one of the kids out there. Become their friend. Get to know them, no matter what walk of life it is. Get to know them. Start your own personal relationship with them. In the midst of y'all in that conversation, like, leave some direction. Leave something positive on their minds and stuff. And I mean, as far as like everybody coming together, we need to do something where, if number one, it goes back to us parents being separated, us parents acting a fool.
It's still going. You're fine.
Us parents acting a fool. Sometimes some of us might need to even humble ourselves. Sometimes it's not, like, it's okay to apologize. Apology ain't never killed nobody. Like I said, it's been times I've done something I had to go apologize. Sometimes I apologize even when I know I'm right. But if an apology help smooth the situation over, if an apology allow you to live longer, if an apology allow a situation that's bad to be turned to good, it's nothing wrong with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing wrong with it, with being different. It's lovely to be different. It's lovely to have that one person, you know what I'm saying, in the midst of chaos, that's gonna speak and have the voice. If you trust God, if God put you there, then He didn't put you there for a reason. He put you there, to be a difference.
And if we are to be more like Christ is love.
Right. So I mean, mm-hmm. And not look down on people. We have a lot of that around here, where you look down on people. You never give them a chance. You know what I'm saying? Hold the conversations with some of these kids that you talk about that you never held a conversation with. Approach them. A lot of them you'll find is real respectful, but you just ain't never tried to approach them. Approach them. Show them love. Hey, how you doing? It's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with that. I do it. I'm a mother, but honey, I get right out there in the midst of my boys. Because I want to know all of them. I want to know all of them. They all call me mama, because I would get in the midst and I tell them when I'm wrong. If I feel like, well, I'm about to go, bye y'all, then, I mean, that's what I do. A lot of the young men, they respect me because I'm me. I don't try to change them. I'm going to tell you the right way to go. But, it's up to me. I can put it out there. It's up to you to receive it. Even if you don't receive it that time, I ain't going to give up. Every time you come around, I'm going to be saying the same thing all over again, like I already do.
Miss Ann, is there anything that's out there as far as speculation and rumors that you would like to put to rest? I know there's been other news outlets that have been reporting false information. So is there anything that you want to clear the record on?
My son is not a bully. My son is, you know what I'm saying, the people that he be with are young men that he grew up with. They be together every day. They slept together every day at their grandparents' house. They just never separated. Even, from being a kid, a young little boy, not even in school, these young men have been there. Their grandmother fed all of them. They, like I said, they laid in the same bed. They hung out every day together. They ate together. Everything they did together. My baby always went from Rock Island, which is where I lived before I recently got married. My mom lives here, so he's always here. I don't have to look for him because I know where he is most of the time, because he only goes two places. He comes to Rock Island, which is his neighborhood, which is where I grew up. I'm in a Rock Island home right now. And New Edition, where he was raised until his grandparents died. So, he didn't have to, wasn't about gang or nothing like that. He was where he was. He was in his neighborhood. He sat there every day, every single day. That's where he was. New Edition. He leave New Edition, he come to Rock Island. That was my baby thing. He didn't go a lot of places. He didn't fool with a lot of people. He speak if you speak, but the majority of the time, when he spoke out, he was speaking out to protect somebody, speaking out for somebody, or something like that. And he's like that because I'm like that. When I was younger, I had fights, but I spoke out for a lot of my friends. Even my friend I'm in the situation with now, you know what I'm saying? If she be truthful, she can validate. I was always a protector. My son was the same. He's mine. He was just like me.
Okay, so the journey to mending broken hearts, for you and the others mothers involved in this situation, what does that look like to you? I know you said y'all are family, y'all are. So have you guys reached out to each other as far as people seeing the unity within the families that are involved in this? Has that happened?
I have not done that yet, but I am, because I think it was like kind of the same way as with my mom. I feel like, they should come at least reach out to me, how you doing? I'm sorry. So, I mean, like, even me, like I was telling them, I was telling my cousin, I said, I'm going to, even though, you know what I'm saying, they didn't reach out to me and my child is gone, I am going to reach out to them. For the community, I am going to reach out to them, because I don't want to speak something and then not act on what I speak, because I realize there's a lot of eyes that's after me, that's on me too, to see what my reaction is going to be, to see how I'm going to react. I'm going to react in love. I'm going to go see my friend. I'm going to go see my cousins. And even if I don't have nothing else to say, the one thing that I do want to do, if nothing is said at all, is I want to hug them.
Okay. Well, Miss Ann, I thank you for your time, and your family as well as the other families are lifted up in our prayers, and prayers for Ricola as he goes into surgery tomorrow. And I just want to thank you for sharing your story, because your story, like you said, is we go through these tests to be able to tell our testimony. So thank you for your time, Miss Ann, and our prayers are with you. And thank you guys for viewing us. And again, it's about the key word in community is unity. So let's put everything together and unify and come together. You guys have a great day. God bless.
Bless y'all.